Behind me is the cheapest Mercedes CLA 2022 plate that I bought off salvage auction. Okay, that came out. And so far, we definitely need this.
Actuators.
The reason why my car is in this state is because I purchased this off Copart salvage auction as a category S non-runner. But I felt like this was a calculated risk because I had an idea why this car will not turn on. I got this car recovered on skates, and the first thing I did was try to get this car running. The fuses looked okay, so I plugged the OBD tool in and the car was in crash mode. This CLA will not turn on if it's in crash mode. I attempted a few times to take this car off crash mode, but it just wouldn't work. I put a temporary battery on and I tried again, and it worked. The car is now off crash mode. I then tried to turn the car on.
Okay, it's cleared. It should turn on. Or at least it should do something now. I hope. This is it. Sounds good.
And the engine was running fine, even though there was a strong hissing noise, but more on that later on. We got to stripping the front end and there was many parts we needed to replace. I purchased this car for...
The winning bid was 5,100. But obviously there's fees on top, which took it to 6,000. Just under 6,000, but let's say 6,000. So I won this car for £6,000. It's how much this car cost me.
Yes, that sounds cheap for a 2022 plate CLA, but we have a lot more work to do and many more parts to purchase. I will reveal exactly how much we paid for all the parts and if we made a profit.
We're going to continue this rebuild from the inside. So I'm going to change the dashboard, the steering airbag, the knee airbag and all the seat belts. Before we begin on the inside, I need to take this ring off because the door does not open. And we need as much space as we can to bring the dashboard out. Wing should be quick. The bolts here is already off. It's been ripped off. This has been ripped off. So there's a bolt here, probably one from the inside and one or two at the bottom, and it should just come off. And there are two more screws in the bottom. Just those two. To get to that, I need to take off the side skirt. There's also a bolt underneath which holds the mud guard. Just the final two screws at the bottom. I've unscrewed them and it's off. Done. Now let's go back and focus on the inside.
If the dashboard airbag gets deployed, like in this car, usually the whole dashboard needs to be replaced.
The first thing we're going to start with is the steering wheel. I'm going to take off the steering wheel airbag, the actual steering wheel, and the stalk at the back. So this complete area here needs to come off, just so that there is enough gap to bring the dashboard through here. So let's start with that. We'll do the screen as well, and then we'll work our way across. Take off the steering wheel airbag. There is just two holes on either side at the back. Just over here, you can kind of make out a circle, and that's where it should pop out. There we go. It's out now.
There is just one bolt holding the steering wheel in its place, and for the stalk we just need to pull it out. The instrument cluster head unit just has two screws on the top holding it in its place, and the AC heater control panel has two small screws underneath. Next, we need to unclip the center vents. And now the knee airbag has also been deployed, so that needs to be removed and the trims around it. And all the remaining trims and air vents will need to come out too. We also need to remove the center console. This will allow us to access the bolts holding the dashboard in its place. The glove box is next to be removed. I also need to remove the trim under the center console. This allows us to get access to two more bolts holding the dashboard in its place. To remove this, there's a screw in the middle and 2 at the back, which I gained access through the rear. And now we just need to make sure all the trims are removed and all the screws are off. And the dashboard can now come out. We need to be gentle when taking out the dashboard, just in case there are some screws or cables holding the dashboard in its place. And there we have it, the dashboard is now off. It always looks weird to see a car interior like this. Okay, now it's time to put the new dashboard back in, and we do the same thing but in the reverse order. The most important thing is to remember where all the screws go. It's best to take some photos as you go along to be sure exactly which screw goes where. It just makes things easier. And there we have it, the dashboard is now changed. There are some trims that I need to put back, but we will do this after we finish the seatbelts and the curtain airbag.
Okay, so now I'm waiting on the curtain airbag to be delivered to me along with the seatbelts. So for now, we'll leave this as it is and focus on the front. And the first thing we're going to change is the bonnet actuators. This bonnet actuator goes off in certain situations when certain sensors are hit. So in this case, and normally when a car hits a pedestrian, these bonnet actuators will pop off and will lift the bonnet upwards. And that's because, say if a pedestrian lands on a bonnet and there's hard components like the engine underneath, it will hurt the pedestrian even more than they already hurt. So what it does is it lifts it up, so when they land on it, there's a cushion that they could kind of bend the bonnet slightly in. And that's what these bonnet actuators are supposed to do. Not sure if it's happened in this case. Hopefully it hasn't, but we do need to change them. In the first video, we took this off and we realized the part number was actually, where are you? It begins with 177, and that indicates to us it's an A class. So this is for an A class, even though our car is a CLA, but a lot of these parts will fit each other. So what we'll do is, we'll change this now. Let's go. Okay, the bonnet actuators.
It's actuators.
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 There we go. Bonnet actuators.
Actuators.
Cool, I got it. So we've done the bonnet actuators. We've done those now. The next thing we're going to work on is this area here. So I've got a brand new filter housing box. And this is for a Mercedes GLB. So I've kind of taken a gamble here. I found this quite cheap, and we'll go through the prices in the end, but I found this at a really good price. And my thought process is, this is the same engine on an A-Class, on a CLA, and on a GLB, a 1.3 petrol. So in theory, this filter box should fit. I wasn't able to get a part number because there was nothing of it left. So we're gonna give it a go. Hopefully it fits. I also have a new hose here. And in the first video, what we did see was that all the pipes and the hoses here, it's all one piece and it's broken. So I wasn't able to get this part. I had to get the complete. And here we can see, yeah, there we go. You see, it's all in properly. It's not broken. Again, this is for a Mercedes GLB. And the part number is A282. We'll go through the prices in the end to check if it's profitable or not, but we've taken a gamble. Now let's see if it'll fit. Let's take off the ECU. Without unplugging it, we should be able to just unscrew here. There's 4 screws. Okay, now it should be off. There we go. It's crazy, there's literally nothing. Oh, there we go, there's a part number. A282093800. This is the moment of truth. It's A2809038. Boom. It should fit. It's the same part number. Again, off a Mercedes GLB, that's a CLA. So GLB, CLA, A classes, as long as it's the same engine, a lot of these parts will fit each other. Now, let's get this changed. Okay, so we've managed to take off the ECU without taking off any of the plugs. Now the filter box. Okay, I'm just loosening the housing here just so we can take the air filter box off. There we go. The main job of this air filter box is just not to allow any dirt to go in. So there's a filter in here which stops any dirt, any small particles to go inside the engine. So it is very important. That's off now. Let's see if this comes off. Okay, straight to the bin. There's two pieces here that are stuck. This is part of the air filter box here. It will go in like this. So we need to pull those two out just so this sits in properly. On the A-Class, I had some problems doing that because the more you push it out, the more it breaks. But let's see. Okay, that came out much easier than I expected. Let's try on this one. Oh, amazing. Okay, that's off now. We have a problem. We can't put the air filter box on now because where it sits onto here is completely bent. So we need a new one of those. We'll take it off now anyway. The way it's bent, it's covering the bolt. So I can't get my tool in. We might have to bend it back as much as we can. I've managed to straighten this back and it's looking good from this angle. We might get away with this. I will put the air filter housing box on there, and if it sits, the mounting points sit on here, we're okay. We don't need to change this. But for now, let's get back to the air hose and swap that across with this one we have. Our one is complete. It's even got some hoses that goes underneath here, but we need it up until here. So I'm going to clip this off and just use it up to here because our one is clearly broken here, whereas this one is one piece. So we definitely need this. We don't need this lower end. So I'm going to open this and we'll use it up to here. Just taking this off completely. We don't need this part. Okay, we've taken off the orange clip. There's also a green clip just over here. This side is loose. There we have it. Okay, so it will sit like this. Two screws at the bottom here. And then there's a screw here, here, and here. And it should slide out. All right, I'll leave this like this. Let's go. So, this is now loose. I've also unplugged the plug from the bottom. And there's a few plugs all in here which is blocking it from coming off. Okay, now it's loose. Now it should come off. Oh, and just over here I've taken off all the bolts, the clips and the wires. It should come off now. There we go, that's off now. Let's put the new one in. This is in now. This will sit. This is all in. Screws at the back are in. Cable is plugged in. And now it's time to put this back to where it should go. Okay, time to screw the bolts back in. I put one in here. And there's another one just on this side. Okay, that's all done now. We've changed the hose, all the pipes, put it back into where it should go. That's gone in as well. Now it's time to put our attention on the air filter housing. And we've got our one just over here. And it should go in just here. So, time to put the air filter housing back in. These two green bits will go into here. And this bottom piece will sit onto the bracket. Now, let's go and see if this will sit properly. Okay, that's gone in. It sits straight in as it should. So that's all good. Happy with that. It's gone in at the back. Now we just need to screw the ECU back in. And then should be done with this. That's in properly. time to screw this hose in so it doesn't move out. That's solid, it's not moving. We've done the air filter housing, we've done the hose and all the bits on there. We've changed the bonnet thingy on both sides. That's good. So far, so good. And now it's the whiteboard time. So from the last video, we know that we won this car from Copart auction for £5,100. And after fees, it came to £6,000. Now, the recovery cost to bring it to me was an extra £200. So in total, the car cost us £6,200. It is cheap for a CLA, a 2022 plate with 28,000 miles on the clock. But we know why. When we got this car, it was a non-runner. There was no keys on the windscreen and the damage itself. And I feel like this is why the car went so cheap. Again, it's a big, big risk, but I felt like it was a calculated risk. I've now purchased all the parts. All I've got left is the bonnet and the wing, as far as we know. Once we get more into the work, there might be more parts we need. But as far as we know, we've got the bonnet and the wing left. And so far, I've spent £2,800 on parts. That brings us a total of £9,000. Well, we're on £9,000 and that's looking good. I've not calculated the bonnet, the wing, my labour costs and the paintwork, which we'll eventually need. But so far it's looking good, considering a car with the similar specs, with the ambient lighting, with the mileage on the clock, 28,000, and white, very similar to this car, goes for at least 14,000, 15,000 as a Cat S. In the next video, we're going to complete this build and we're going to calculate all our costs and answer the most important question. Is it really profitable to buy a car from Copart? And if it is, how much profit did we actually make? Once again, thank you so much for watching. Like, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I genuinely appreciate all the support, everyone who's watching it. And I'll see you next week, Sunday, 6 p.m.